Formula E kicks off its 11th season of the All-Electric Championship here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Welcome to the Sao Paulo Street Circuit, a total of 2.933 kilometers, 11 turns in total. Turn 1, a downhill braking zone as well after the strip into an overtaking zone as well. Turn 3 is your attack mode. Turn 5, a very tight chicane. That is very much an incident zone on the circuit. You've got to be very careful there as it backs up on itself. Down at turn 10, that's where we saw the race-winning overtake the last lap as well. Sam Bird right round the outside, taking victory in what is an awesome move. Attack mode at turn 3 is going to be crucial in the race as well. Well, Sao Paulo is a wonderful city and it's a wonderful atmosphere as Formula E returns for the third time, sambering on the streets here of the Sambadrome. Welcome to round 1 of the season. And it's a championship that will range here on the 7th of December before going over to Mexico City on the 11th of January. 14th and 15th of February sees a doubleheader, this time at the Jeddah Corniche circuit for a month's break. Going over then to Miami on the 12th of April. Doubleheaders then in Monaco the 3rd or 4th of May. 17th and 18th take us to Tokyo, Japan. And then we're back at the end of May, beginning of June for Shanghai. Jakarta is a single header round before Berlin takes us to a double the 12th and 13th of July. And it all rounds out in London's XL on the 26th and 27th of July. A 16-round calendar for the 11th year of ABB FIA Formula E. And the Formula E Shakedown is about to get underway here in Sao Paulo, Brazil. A chance for the drivers to head out the circuit, see what's what, make sure A, the cars are working, and B, that the track is safe enough and ready to go. It's 2 7-minute sessions across this one as well. And alongside me in the commentary box is Omi as well. We never usually get to see this, Omi, and I don't think many people are going to be tuning into that. We're trying to put it on now on JBMotorsports, so hello to everybody listening in later on. Green light's on, cars venture out, and it's just literally, Omi, a chance for the drivers to check out the circuit, and it's nice for us to get a little bonus to see what's going to happen out on the track and actually get to commentate on some pictures and not be on camera for a change.
Yeah, so we're on to the racetrack then, and the field currently making their way to Gate to see Formula E getting underway for a brand new season, which it should hopefully be another exciting season coming up, so cannot wait for it to begin. Of course, it starts here in 2024.
Yeah, really strange calendar in order for this year to get going as well. That we've literally got a month off. We don't race in March, so we end in February, rejoin in April, but there is one race in December in 2024, so it kind of works out. This circuit, though, built on the old grounds of what used to be the IndyCar racetrack here. A bit of debris been flown onto the side of the circuit there as one of the Lolas go through as well. New drivers, new teams, new championships. If you joined us in the pre-season testing at Harama as well, you know all about it. DS Penske sort of come in here as the favourites as well. And Omi, I know you don't follow a lot of Formula E action, but you've been watching a lot of the races behind the scenes of the commentary box as well. What do you make of the look of the new Evo cars? Of course, first chance we get to see these out there on the circuit. By the way, there's not even any track audio for us to hear, so we've got the same thing you've got back at home, but at least we've got pictures. So what do you make of the new look of the cars? They're slightly different, and the fact that they're going to be four-wheel drive and on par with a Formula One car in terms of acceleration. It's truly mind-blowing what electric energy can do.
Yeah, absolutely an extraordinary innovation there as well, and it's going to be incredible to see these cars in action this weekend. So this is going to be quite a lot of fun as we see them continue to make their way around the circuit. But yes, great to have a little bit of a change, and also all of the work that's to this Formula E car in action.
On board with Sam Bird in the neon McLaren now as he ventures downhill. Sam Bird, of course, won here last year. Well, actually, earlier on this year, let's face it, back in March, when we last raced here, around the outside Shakedown here at turn 10. A fantastic overtaking opportunity, and Bird clinching his first victory in a couple of years as well. He dives now into the pit lane. 3 minutes to go of this Shakedown session, and then we'll get another 7 minutes. So this is for half the side of the pit lane to go out on the right-hand side as we look at it, and on the left-hand side, the next lot will get to go out as well following on. Shakedown, not usually broadcast on television, but this year JB Motorsports has got media access as well, so we get to see Shakedown. We get to bring you some Shakedown action as well, while the TV directors test everything out, make sure it's all good to go. And crucially, I suppose, only for us, this is a session that's usually just as a test. We never get to see it, but now we do, and we get to see if anybody slows and goes down or even comes to a halt. We've had that a couple of times. And I suppose with a brand new car, as much time as possible out on the circuit on real Formula E circuits are very, very important. As we see the Jaguars.
Really important. Really important on these type of circuits. Apologies, slight lag going on right now at the moment. Yeah. Great, and we get to work out what is actually going on, whether a car is having issues, whether it's stopping, or what sort of technical issues are teams and drivers facing, rather than just hearing.
Yeah, and that's the best thing. Lag slightly an issue, because in order for me to see this, I'm having to screen share off the laptop, not using our usual system, so it's taking a lot of Discord's power. James Barkley there, the team principal for Jaguar TCS Racing, just watching on. We're looking now down at the chicane. There's the McLaren flying through, and one of the Maseratis as well. We've got no times in this one, so it's not going to be a full session in terms of lap times. That comes later in free practice 1. You can join us live for watch long coverage of that. We'll have all the driver tracker and timings for that. This is just a bonus treat that we guessed might happen, and are happy it has happened for us to keep an eye on things. Usually there's some audio. Jake Hughes in a Maserati as well. We watch now there on the circuit, rejoining the championship. Nice to have him back in at Maserati. Of course, he was at McLaren in previous years, but he's been replaced by Taylor Barnard, who's partnering Sam Bird. And loads of new teams. Cairo, Cupra coming in as well. Lola are back in motorsport for the first time in nearly 30 years as well. Great to see them in the championship. There they are, actually just behind the Jaguar and the Porsche there, the purple Porsche of Antonio Felix da Costa diving into the pit lane. And it's quite hard to tell the Kairos from the Yamaha Lola Apt cars apart. Sort of a Jordan-esque yellow, neon yellow for the Cairo cars, and sort of an IKEA JB Motorsports blue and yellow for the Lolas there. I know Mark Prieston's a friend of ours here and a colleague, but it's funny that it's a JB Motorsports colour only.
Yes, always quite a lot of fun to see our very own branding on the racetrack as well. So always nice to see that, and that will be something that we can joke about for the entire year, starting from now all the way to next year.
So the checker flag's out then for the first session. The cars will return into the pit lane, and then we will get the second lot out there as well. So the other 11 drivers will get a chance to venture onto the side of the track and get going. So it's looking to be a very interesting situation. What we're going to see, fingers crossed, it's going to look good. Jess is not going to be joining us for FP1 later on, but Jess is going to be taking you through qualifying and practice 2 tomorrow alongside Ed Hunter, and I'll be back for the main race as well, because me and Omi are going to be covering the Formula 2 race battle. That's going to be heating up, and hopefully we can have another classic one here. Green lights on, by the way, for the second group to head out onto the circuit, so another 7 minutes. It's a sort of 15-minute session, but 7 minutes in total. Now, I can see a checkered flag, actually, and it looks like, is it Sam Bird has taken the flag twice? Now, you're supposed to come into the pit lane there, Omi, and Sam's going for another lap time, which is going to delay the proceedings. And I know it's Shakedown, but he might get in a little bit of trouble for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you might get in a little bit of trouble for that, indeed, taking the checkered flag twice over there.
There's Norman Nato in the Nissan squad, which is going to be easy to tell now which Nissan this season. They've got the sort of white with the roses. What they called us again? It's the trees as well. We go there, don't they? Palm tree? It's not palm tree. What is it? It's the blossom, isn't it? They're fantastic. Nissan in there too. There's the new Jaguar branding on the back of Mitch Evans. Still Jaguar TCS Racing, but Copy Nothing was their rebrand title. Turns out they've actually copied quite a bit. They want to do the Tesla Cybertruck in total as well. So they'll walk down and we'll get ready for Group 2 to venture out there for Shakedown. Of course, it's a simulation of the whole weekend, this Shakedown, so you have to come in and get weighed as well at the FIA bridge and check everything's ready, check you're okay, and go there. Oh, and Sam Bird coming into the pit lane and just about avoids Mitch Evans, who's on a little bit of a walkie. And changes over as well. New black front on the Neon McLaren with sort of a darker orange there than what we see in Formula 1. It's not a papaya orange at all. Second session is underway then here for ABB FIA Formula E's Shakedown session. Cars venturing out onto the circuit as well. Here's the Lola Yamaha Apt squad. Now, this is taking over the Apt team. Lola coming in as a manufacturer back in. And we're on board with Lucas de Grassi now, who is a season champion, of course. I had to wait for it, though, but got it in Season 3 in the end. We all remember happening in Season 2, of course, going over the back of Sebastian Buemi. But Lucas, the first ever race winner in Formula E back in Beijing in 2014. September the 14th, I believe the date was, if I remember that correctly. And now he's still in the championship, still racing hard, and with a brand new team once again. But technically not, Omi. He has raced with Apt before, so it's sort of a coming home for him. In fact, it's his original team in Formula E is Apt. It's the team he won the title with. But Lola have come in as the manufacturer, and it's a friend of ours, of course, Mark Prieston, who's taken over as team principal, who I had to message earlier on because the press conference did not require good enough audio. But nice to see it. There is Lola Yamaha Apt, and there is the garage coming in, and that is Zane Maloney, Omi, which I think you've got a couple of words on. Zane, of course, missing Formula 2 this weekend to take part in Formula E. What are your hopes for him, and what's been your thoughts of him coming up the career path? Same actually as well with Dan Tickton.
Zane Maloney, I think, very talented driver. Great to see him make the step up to Formula E, and it's been great to watch him over the last 2 years, and we'll definitely keep an eye over his progress for what he manages through this next phase of his career. But a driver who usually does take a little bit of time to settle in, but when he does settle in, he is absolutely rapid. So it may take him a little bit of time here in Formula E to just get used to things. But when he does, he should be a really, really quick driver. And quickly on Taylor Barnard as well is also in here. He's already scored points in Formula E for the races he filled in last year. So he's just going to be absolutely brilliant. And I really wish he could have reached Formula 1 while that's not possible. Great to see him here in Formula E.
I feel like it's a shame we've lost Zane Maloney from Formula 2. I really do. He's been a fantastic driver throughout the season, and he's been up and down, but I think it's still, as we look at Florian Mondlinger there, the team principal at Porsche. Name escaped me for a second there because I was just thinking, I feel like Zane Maloney could have run both, but you mentioned it earlier on in our F2 broadcast as well. It seems to be a trend that's going on that they are now taking, instead of going straight to Formula 1, they're taking Formula E as the opposite route. And that all started because of Nick de Vries. Is Formula E a viable option now, alongside Formula 1, for these junior drivers coming up from F2 and F3?
Well, they all want to push on. They want to continue their racing career, and they want to have success. So, unfortunately, most of the F2 field cannot get into Formula 1. So, it does mean that it's always very incredible to see the drivers reach even series like this, like Formula E or IndyCar. So yeah, we do usually get lots going there, and it's the only choice. If they want to still be racing at high levels of motor racing, this is the only option they really have left.
Sadly so, as we look at James Barkley, the team principal for Jaguar TCS Racing. Now take a look down at turn 1. Yeah, Formula E is not, and there is the guy who kicked it all off, actually, Nick de Vries in the Mahindra, watching on now, just going through the attack mode activation zone at turn number 3 on the outside. Nick de Vries kicked it all off, won the championship, decided not to go to Formula 1, took a seat in Formula E, won the championship in Formula E. He is a Formula E World Champion. Then got the call up to Formula 1 to replace Alexander Albon when he had appendicitis. Then that led to a half a season with AlphaTauri before they dropped him, and then he returned to Formula E. What happened to Nick de Vries? And does he still have the speed to contend this season in Formula E? Or was he a talent that's sort of gone a bit too long now?
I think it could go either way. I think he may still have it in him, or it might just be now a little bit too late once more. So it'll be interesting to see how Nick de Vries does play out, how his career does play out his resumption here in this category as well. So really excited to see him, and he's another driver, of course, who made his way here to Formula E after his Formula 2 stint, then back to Formula 1 and back here again for Nick de Vries. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how he is going to be able to get on as well.
Frederic Bertrand there, the team principal as well at Mahindra, now regenerated in this new season after a pretty poor performance in the first 2 seasons of Gen 3. It looks like we're going to be in for a better run now. This is the Evo, so when we have the attack mode and as well, it looks like we're going to have the attack charge, only at double-header races though, that we're going to have the all 4-wheel drive coming through, which I think is going to be absolutely fantastic. And we can see now, look, 200 kilometers an hour down the straight in towards the brake. It's insane how much speed they can get. They're not quite the 300 that we see in Formula 1, but this is on a bumpy street down towards the first corner. And then also, they're limited in Shakedown anyway to 200 kilometers an hour. When we get them in the race later, qualifying, and also on proper race circuits, they're going to be at 320 to 330 to 350 kilowatts of power. They are fast. And off the line, they take, a second? So it's fantastic energy. Does Formula 1 have to be a bit worried as we now see this Evo car sort of evolving onto more Grand Prix circuits and street circuits?
Yeah, absolutely. It is starting to take that step forward as this Formula E car. So starting to be a real competitor to Formula 1 in terms of the racing action and trying to do basically everything, even though I think they do still struggle in plenty of aspects, as proven earlier today.
Sadly so as well. As it comes into it, there's Antonio Felix da Costa, of course, champion before in Formula E in the COVID season, 6th season if I remember correctly. Oh, and there goes our TV pictures as well. So that is a bit of a disappointment, to say the least. But we will not be disheartened about that front as well. At least we actually got to see some TV pictures, and we'll cut to our OBS screen as well to the background. Omi, then, just give us a few words. What do you think we're going to see when we get going later on in the session as well? And are we going to be in for an entertaining run for the championship in Formula E this year?
Could be one of the best Formula E championships ever. Really looking forward to catching up on the races and trying to watch as much as I can throughout this season. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. As I mentioned, could be the best season yet. So bring on season 11 of Formula E.
It's going to be a long championship as well, spanning across the December of 24 all the way until the July of 2025. It's a fantastic championship. You can see the cameramen having a bit of fun as well, because it's just a shakedown. It's just to make sure the cars are okay and everything is ready to go. One thing I'm worried about, no audio from this shakedown session, so fingers crossed we get that for when we go on for the first practice session. You can watch that here on JB Motorsports as well. We'll have live drive driver tracker and timings for that session as well. We're not allowed to show TV pictures of the sessions, but hey-ho, special treat. We want to see how this works out, and we want to see how it goes. If so, we can do Shakedown more often throughout the year as well for the events. That's on every Friday of the championship. Everyone walking in. There's Nick de Vries as well, a Formula E champion back in the Mercedes days. And Shakedown is complete. Well, thanks, Omi, for sticking with us for a quick chat. You can join us all later on for more action from the ABB FIA Formula E Championship as the first free practice gets underway. And let's hope that the drivers are in just as high spirits when the 40-minute practice gets going and we start Season 11 of ABB Formula E. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.